Digimon Story Time Stranger. Now, over the past, I'll probably say 10 years, there's been like a resurgence in Digimon. Some people will say it never left, depending on who you ask. But for me, I've seen like a resurgence in Digimon. People have been more into it. Like I see people walking around with Digi devices, and like younger people too. People younger than me. I'm 34. I grew up with the original Digimon. So now I see people like younger than me, like, early 20s, mid 20s, walking around with Digi devices and stuff, playing the mobile games that came out. But this is the next chapter in that expansion of the digital world. So let's just take a look at this review and see what's popping.
2015's Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth and 2017's more refined Hacker's Memory were monster collecting RPGs that managed to stand out amongst Pokemon's omnipresent domination of the genre, thanks in part to their unique evolution systems. Now, a decade later, Digimon Story Time Stranger builds on that same foundation, but this time with a much bolder story that pays off well and a mostly compelling cast of characters. Combine that with engrossing turn-based combat and monster progression, and Time Stranger shines as one of the best Digimon RPGs to date.
I'm spelling an 8. I'm spelling an 8 right now.
Time Stranger follows a secret agent who gets transported 8 years into the past in order to prevent an apocalyptic Digimon clash called the Shinjuku Inferno. It's an explosive start that grabs your attention immediately. Things get a little more straightforward from there as you quickly meet a regular girl that happens to become intertwined with a humanoid Digimon named Ageomon who conveniently has amnesia. The trio sets forth to uncover his mysterious origins, and as sappy as the script can be, their bond is tested in a way that ultimately sticks the landing. One minor disappointment is that our protagonist is silent, which often leads to the more emotionally impactful scenes falling a bit flat.
I hate that.
There's someone I'd like for you to meet.
Let me rant real quick. That's the stupidest thing in gaming that they created, was the silent protagonist. I always hated it. I never wonder why I wanted to talk. I know there's this stupid ideology in the game development space where he's a silent protagonist because that's you. Is representing you, so you can respond. That's the stupidest shit ever. That's such a lazy way to develop a character. Let the motherfucker talk unless you purposefully making him mute for narrative reasons. Him or her, or they or them, whatever.
The public safety team helps out our trio quite a bit, but their personalities don't have enough depth to carry conversations on their own, making them quite forgettable.
Our squad can't do anything against a monster like that.
However, the Digimon characters do the heavy lifting here. The story revolves around Olympus 12, a group of 12 mega-level deity Digimon that manage the digital world. Their personalities are larger than life, in a stark contrast to the boring humans. Bacchusmon's lackadaisical and hungry antics are enjoyable, as he's based on the Roman god of wine. Meanwhile, Volcanusmon, who's based on the Roman god of fire and the blacksmith of the group, loves action figures. These interests and habits give them an immense amount of charm. Despite being literal gods, they all feel down-to-earth and relatable in some way.
Action figures.
Now you know if the Digimon starts looking a little more human, the more humanoid a Digimon look, that's how more powerful they be. Y'all remember Angelmon? He used to go stupid. I remember.
About 5 of them should do the trick, I imagine.
Time Stranger also does a fantastic job of using its time travel elements to flesh these Digimon out further across its 30 to 40 hour campaign. For example, smaller Digimon you meet in the past end up playing pivotal roles later on, growing both physically and emotionally when you eventually have to go back to the present. You get to see them mature into their Digivolved forms as they tell you about how much of an impact you made on their lives.
Divermon! Don't tell me you're the leader of the Titans here.
Yep, I am. Under the name of Neptune.
Okay, music.
Time Stranger's combat sticks to a traditional but amusing turn-based RPG system, playing out more like Shin Megami Tensei than the simultaneous choices of something like Pokemon. You can have 3 Digimon accompany Ageomon out on the field at once, not to mention up to 3 special guest Digimon that will temporarily fight alongside you for various story reasons, as well as 3 more slots that hold your reserve options, which can be a lot to juggle.
Meteor shower!
Colette!
Time Stranger has a great multi-layered weakness system with 3 primary attributes, data, virus, and vaccine, that have a rock, paper, scissors relationship with each other. On top of this, each Digimon comes with elemental types too, like fire, planet, earth, and water, and the bonus damage you get for targeting multiple weaknesses can stack. It's nothing revolutionary, but it's still a fun puzzle to take advantage of these attributes and elemental systems to create complex strategies and dispose of enemies efficiently. There are more than 450 different Digimon that could potentially join your team, and each one has a few special skills which are unique to them. For example, Ice Devimon's Frost Claw is an ice elemental attack with life-stealing capabilities, while Mega Kabuteramon's Hornbuster is a plant elemental attack that also reduces the opponent's speed stat. These moves have unique attack animations as well, giving each Digimon a bit of cool individuality.
Fire.
Your Digimon can also equip up to 4 attachment skills using skill discs. These essentially function the same as TMs in Pokemon, but with no restrictions for which moves a Digimon can learn, so you have unlimited freedom in how you want to build out your team. For example, you could equip a Lilithmon with Holy Light 3, giving her a way to hit other Dark Elemental Digimon for big damage despite them being immune to her special skill, Phantom Pain. This way, you can prepare your Digimon to be as well-rounded or as specialized as possible, whichever you prefer. During the course of battle, you'll accumulate cross points, or CP. Once your CP bar is full, your human agent can unleash a powerful move called a Cross Art.
Oh, she summoned the Gat. Hold on.
These can range from doing massive damage to all enemies, concentrating a blast on a single one, and even fully healing your party. The one baffling caveat is that you can only equip one cross art at a time, so if you go into battle equipped with the wrong one, you're screwed. This could have just been a drop-down menu during battle to select whichever cross art you wanted in a particular situation, especially because the limitation makes it difficult to find a moment where you ever want to use the more defensive cross arts.
Digivolve 2.
Digimon's unique evolution mechanic, dubbed Digivolving, is core to Time Stranger's progression. Each Digimon has multiple evolution lines that you can constantly Digivolve and de-Digivolve through, but they have to meet certain requirements to do so. These can include your agent rank, reaching a specific stat threshold, and more. This faster approach to evolution feels much more immediately gratifying, even if there's still some level grinding involved to get a Digimon to meet certain requirements. You're inevitably going to have multiple copies of the same Digimon filling up your overflow box, but that's a good problem to have. If you have 2 Agumons, you can Digivolve one into Greymon and the other into Geogreymon and see how their evolution lines divert from there. It's almost like a fun gacha game without the predatory randomness elements.
Yeah, it's like Shin Megami Tensei or Persona, where you have different monsters, they have different stats, they have different ability paths that they go up to, and you could evolve them. You could combine them, change their form. I don't know if you could combine them. Let me not say that, but yeah, I'm definitely familiar with this type of gameplay.
Sometimes a Digimon's portrait is blacked out in the evolution tree, and reading the requirements makes you incredibly curious to see what it could be. And even if you've exhausted all possible evolution paths for a specific kind of Digimon, Time Stranger lets you put them to good use. You can break them down into materials that grant your more useful Digimon extra experience, or grind them into money to buy items. Savage, but convenient. Time Stranger also introduces personalities that influence stat growth. There are 4 different categories: Philanthropy, Valor, Understanding, and Heart, and each has 4 specific personalities within them. For instance, Understanding revolves around the Intellect stat, which makes magic attacks stronger, but a Digimon with a sly personality will see boosts in both Intellect and HP, while one with an Enlightened personality will gain more Intellect and SP.
Okay, so they're doing natures like Pokemon. A
lot more depth to party building and tickles the min-maxing part of your brain. Thankfully, you can also influence your Digimon's personalities by replying to their text messages. No, seriously.
You have your Digimon texting you?
Here they can roam around and gain experience on their own, and you can get more direct control over how their stats and personalities change. For example, if one doesn't have a high enough speed stat to Digivolve into its next form, you can run them on a treadmill until they do, and even pay in-game money to speed that process up. You can also feed your Digimon food here to further increase your bonds, which gives them a higher chance of executing follow-up attacks in battle, and that can sometimes be the difference between victory and defeat. Time Stranger offers plenty of side activities to do too. While the side missions are usually just fetch quests, they at least offer a cute glimpse into how Digimon behave in their world. The character models for all the Digimon look sharp and pristine, with the digital world having varied environments like the coastal beach and aquarium vibes of the Abyss, as well as the rustic nature aesthetic of the Gear Forest to explore. You'll also find outer dungeons hidden away, which are challenges you can take on to earn reward money, and some of the toughest ones are fun ways to test out your endgame party. Moreover, many side quests offer a crucial reward, additional anomaly points outside of story missions. You spend these points on skills and abilities for your protagonist, such as unlocking more cross arts or decreasing certain Digivolution requirements. Spending them also increases your agent rank, which is often a Digivolution requirement itself. At higher agent ranks, you can start digivolving your Digimon into their ultimate and mega forms, which is important in order to tackle the more powerful bosses towards the end. Tucking away such an important resource behind side missions pushes you to meaningfully engage with content outside of the main story in a smart way.
I like that. Here we go. I'm feeling the 8. I'm feeling the 8.
Digimon Story Time Stranger builds on its predecessors to deliver one of the best Digimon RPGs to date. It has a much more engaging story this time around thanks to its clever time travel setup and a charismatic and lively cast of Digimon characters. Even though its human cast pales in comparison, there's still plenty to drive you through to the end of this time-hopping campaign. The turn-based combat is fairly straightforward, but the nuances in type matchups and the tinkering you can do with your party's evolutions and movesets adds quite a lot of depth. So while this adventure has a few minor hiccups, it's one that'll make you very glad to be back in the digital world.
Man. Yo, IGN, give me a job.
For more on this fall's biggest games, check out our
reviews of
give me a job. Or Final Fantasy Tactics,
give me promotion.
Evil's Chronicles, and for everything else gaming, stick with IGN.
Promote me, bitch. Promote me, bitch. Shit. Did I do the Ghost of Yote review? I don't think so. But I'll check after this. Well, hold on, let me get my little clip form going. Digimon Story Time Stranger. Digimon Story Time Stranger. So this is the next iteration of Digimon in the JRPG. Well, I guess you can call it a JRPG. Yeah, it reminds me of Shin Megami Tensei and Persona, where you have like different monsters you control. You can evolve them. You can change the stats, change their nature, and it's like a 3-on-3 system. And you have like a backup squad as well. It's dope. I'm very familiar with this gameplay style. The game really looks good. The story seems to be cool. I think I'm definitely gonna check this out. I don't know if I have to play the games that came before this in order to play this one. I don't know if it's like a Final Fantasy situation where it's in the same world but different stories. Y'all can let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm definitely keeping my eye on this one. Definitely want to check this out at some point. There's so many games this year. So many games. Gaming is not dead. Y'all tripping. But yeah, y'all let me know how y'all feel down in the comments. Y'all already know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy JusticeXFalls, and we out. One.